Oh, chat. Liberals got what they wanted. They raided Mar-a-Lago. They raided Mar-a-Lago. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. And let me just say this, and I want to say this honestly. Unless something new comes out, this is some ticky-tack bullshit. I'm wearing my Palm shirt to celebrate Mar-a-Lago. I'm dripped up for today. But unless I learn something new, I think they f***ed up. Let Rachel Maddow and every other liberal have an orgasm. All I can say is, I'm going to get into why. Like, listen, I have been on the prosecute Trump now train forever. But if they are charging him with what they think they're charging him with, it's bullshit. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot for even me to say. Sometimes I feel like you want Trump in power. Are you okay? Is your brain damaged? Is your brain damaged? Are you suffering? Did you hit your head recently? Did you grow up playing rugby, hockey, football, and boxing? Like, was your brain jostled frequently when you were growing up? My point. Okay, here's. I'll just say what my point is, and then we'll analyze stuff going forward. But here's my point: the president of the United States is the senior executive of our government. All right, classification is bullshit. When somebody says this is top secret, that's bullshit. All right, it's a made-up category by bureaucrats. It means nothing. Means fucking nothing. Revealing top secret info. Oh, good. Who gives a shit? That's what the president is for. Period. Dot. Classification is garbage, and I don't give a fuck about it. And for a former president to be charged with a classification offense is a fucking joke. This is the one crime, the only crime that a president can basically not commit, because they can unclassify anything they want when they want, because they're the president. Like, he could be hiding his crimes by hiding classified documents. Here's Ryan. See, okay, even if I agree with you, that we should prosecute him for the crimes of extortion, blackmail, or whatever crime he was covering up. That's the crime we should prosecute him for, not document crime. If a president can unilaterally declassify anything without any process needed, which is the law, could a president just say, I declassify this and walk away with it? I think there are a lot of crimes you could lock Trump up for, but classified documents, that sets a precedent that can lock up most former senior White House aides. That's why I suspect the raid was actually about more than just the boxes, though related to the boxes. Liberal, like, honest to God, if you disagree with this, you are a deep state lib. Like, if what I'm saying to you doesn't immediately resonate, you have liberal brain and a serious case of it. I'd be happy to hear your counters, but yeah, like, you believe that presidents should be prosecuted for confidential documents that some bureaucrat stamped somewhere? That's absolutely insane. All right, let's keep going.
Our president is at least potentially implicated in an ongoing federal grand jury criminal investigation into sending forged sets of fake electors to the Electoral College to keep him in power. There's a federal grand jury looking at that. He's also potentially implicated in another federal grand jury investigation into efforts to use the Justice Department itself to overthrow the election results from 2020 and keep him in power. A second federal grand jury is reportedly looking at that. He's also potentially implicated in another federal grand jury investigation, this one first reported in May by the New York Times, into the alleged serious mishandling of classified information by the...
Who gives the shit? There's no such thing. There's no such thing. When someone says classified information, what you need to know is that they're trying to control information because they're trying to control you. That's it. Classified, or now there's a very narrow area where I could see classified information being justified, but that does not exist currently. But Mike, don't we need the CIA to keep all their operative secrets so that we could do coups in Venezuela? Among the investigators who went to Mar-a-Lago earlier this year to meet with Trump's attorneys was Jay Bratt, the chief of counterintelligence and export control section at the Justice Department.
the former president. Now, the Times was first to report the existence of the federal grand jury investigation into this matter, but it was the Washington Post that was first to report 6 months ago in February that Trump had taken boxes and boxes and boxes of government documents and materials with him to South Florida, to his...
What conditions would you consider classified? If we were fighting a war with a fascist power and we wanted to keep the secret, the operational details of what troops were where, what supplies are going where, what our battle plans are, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that would be classified. How many ships we have and when and where and what their missions are, blah, 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 blah. Sure. That is where you want to keep that stuff confidential, and it doesn't provide any level of like democratic usurpation. But it's like, oh, we need to keep it classified that we're doing a military coup in Venezuela to steal their oil. Yeah, nah, I don't think that should be classified. Oh, we need to keep it classified that we're working hand in hand with drug cartels so that we could sell crack in American neighborhoods to fund our proxy war in Nicaragua and sell missiles to Iran. Nah, I don't think we need classified documents for that. Have you ever been to Venezuela? No. You act like Trump was being a whistleblower. Yes, but the point is, he was the president. There's no such thing as classified documents when it gets to the president. The president is above that. That's the point of having one. It would be batshit crazy to me if this is what they're actually going after him for. If they're going after him for extortion, they're going after him for fraud, if they're going after him for blackmail, if they're going after him for something like that, fine. But just he has documents? Are you kidding me? So I prescribe to the unitary executive theory. No. I prescribe to the theory of classification is bullshit. But if you have a classification regime, the law says the president could declassify whatever the fuck he wants. So the whole mishandling classified documents thing doesn't apply to him. What reason would Trump have for stealing the documents? Could there be something that incriminates him? Even so, doubt we'd find out. Like championing the imperial presidency. It's actually the opposite. I'm championing democracy away from a security state and a fucking police state that thinks they can like prosecute people like Edward Snowden or Reality Winter for exposing shit that the public should know. And we have a massive overexpansion of classification, which, by the way, every lib agreed with me when they were going after Hillary Clinton for the same shit. The real stuff will come as these fools shoot themselves and they're overreacting. By the way, I'm just going to say, this doesn't mean I don't think Trump committed crimes. It's just, God, I hope it's more than he has classified documents. It better be something more than that, or this is going to be a huge fucking political catastrophe.
House club hotel thing called Mar-a-Lago. The Post reported, again, back in February, that many of the documents that he took with him to Mar-a-Lago were definitely and unequivocally classified. Now, that's important because there are criminal penalties that attach to mishandling or allowing
Oh my, bro. This is security state bullshit. There isn't a single Trump supporter or even independent that's going to go, yeah, get him because he had a secret document. No fucking shot. It has to be more than this.
Authorized access to classified government documents. People get in trouble for mishandling classified government documents all the time.
Yes. Yes, you get in trouble for mishandling classified documents that you do not have the authority to declassify. But if you're the president, you get to declassify those things because they're made up bullshit by bureaucrats. And so that's why we have a president, because they're elected. They are theoretically subject to the people. So we want our government to be subservient to our elected officials, not the other way around. We don't want to have some bureaucracy that's over the fucking government that's elected. That's madness. Mike, taking Trump's side is not a winning game in this community. It's not about taking Trump. This is where liberalism rots your brain. This is where team mentality rots your brain. When you should think about what is the material conditions that are created. Can you imagine if Bernie Sanders is elected president and they try to prosecute him for classification and handling of documents That would be fucking batshit crazy. It's stupid. It's stupid. I don't want some general. I don't want some CIA bureaucrat with the ability to overwhelm the president because they put top secret on some bullshit document. None of which should be top secret in the first place. Sanders wouldn't steal 15 boxes of documents. Again, we don't know anything yet. We don't know anything. It's about the structure of the government and how it's terrible for a fucking, this just won't be a bad political mood. If it's only over documents, there will be deep anger on the right, and when they use the IRS shit and the new agents to delegitimize the IRS and FBI as political tools, there better be more. I just hope there's more than this. That's what I'm saying. We all know Trump's a fucking criminal. I want Trump prosecuted. I don't know what to say. Like, there better be more than this. He didn't declassify them as while he was president, and he took them after he left the presidency, and they kept asking for them and didn't hand them over. I find that very okay, this is Mark Ellis is fucking stupid.
Washington Post.
By the way, chat, this is why you watch me. You're not watching me so that you get the standard fucking MSNBC take from brain-dead liberals that wave the blue flag. I'm giving you the straight takes. I hate Trump more than any of these motherfuckers. And what I would do to Trump, I can't even tell you on Twitch. But the idea that classification is the thing to get Trump with is absolutely insane. And the right wing is not going to accept it. Huggable Kale, thank you for the 4 months. And I want to be hyped, but this sounds so dumb so far.
Post reporting team, led in part by Jackie Alemany, was first to report on how highly classified some of these documents were that Trump took with him to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, a classified document is a classified document, and criminal.
They're highly classified. Ooh, spooky. So classified, spooky. Ooh. Give me a fucking break. Anybody who thinks there's information that you should not see, but they should, thinks themselves your fucking master. I'm not going to see any information that's going to fundamentally alter my worldview because I don't believe in bullshit American exceptionalism. I'm not a liberal. There's nothing that's in those boxes that's going to shake anything that I believe because I believe in dialectical materialism and I analyze society through the prism of class struggle. If anything, what's in those documents will only confirm what I already believe. Ooh, the spooky classified. Woo! It's like when they didn't want the peasants to read the Bible so they could tell them what it means. It's exactly like that.
Penalties sort of therein attach just by the fact that something is classified. But Jackie Alemany and her colleagues at the Post were first to report that some of these documents that he took were really, really, really classified.
Really
and we know that in part because the National Archives subsequently had to go retrieve them.
Really classified? Is it really classified? Give me a break. Please, Lord, let there be more than this. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Please let there be more.
There are records at the very highest levels of classification, including some that can be viewed by only a small number of government officials. Quote, there are records that...
Now, chat, what do you think is in a classified document that can only be seen by a few high-level government officials? Do you think it's good for you that you don't know what's in that? Do you think it's good for Americans, the working class? What do you possibly could be in that? I could think of a couple, like a knock list, a list of all the spies and agents and what their identities are, what their missions are in foreign countries. Typically, like the spies that are inside the French government or the British government or the Japanese government or the people that are spies in the Chinese government that are giving us insights into their internal documents and the internal discussions, that kind of shit. I guess that could be something, right? That it doesn't really help us to, it being sensitive is good in the generic sense of it's good for the American government. Or is it stuff like, hey, we are spending this money to influence the French opinion on, say, the war in Afghanistan. Oh, we are coupping and we are supporting this organization in Venezuela. And we are supporting this death squad in El Salvador. We are smuggling this drug into this neighborhood to sell for this. Stuff that, we would probably once stopped if we knew about it, right? I wonder what it is. CONINTELPRO was classified information. It was for activists that raided the FBI. We would probably never know what it was. The burglary that exposed CONINTELPRO activists marked 50th anniversary of daring FBI break-in. Basically, there was a secret program called CONINTELPRO where the FBI was attacking leftist activists in America. Yeah, so when someone says, oh, it's super duper classified, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Only a very few have clearances to review. The documents are so sensitive that officials may not be able to describe them in an unclassified way, according to the two people who spoke to the Washington Post. So in other words, one of the federal grand juries looking into former President Donald Trump has been looking into this issue of potentially mishandling classified information. The existence of the federal grand jury looking into that as a potential criminal matter.
The fact that people think that this exists is generally a good idea is a fucking sign of massive liberalism. There's nothing that the American government is doing that's super duper secret that we want them to be doing.
Was first reported in May by the New York Times. But the Washington Post reported back in February that what he took to Mar-a-Lago, these boxes and boxes and boxes of documents, which the National Archives tried for a long time to get back before they were finally able to get them from him. This is apparently some of this, at least, is stuff of such high classification that not only can you and I not know the content of these documents, you can't know any of the words that are in the document.
You and I can't know. Ooh, what the fuck are you talking about?
You can't know about the existence of the document. You can't have the type of document.
Yeah, this is definitely for our benefit, chat.
It is described to you unless you have a very high level government clearance. It's that classified. And that's what he took to like the golf club thing.
Who gives a shit? He was elected president. He gets to do that. If you don't want anybody who will do that to be president, then you don't vote for them. I don't know what to say. He's the president. He is the person who won the Electoral College under our dipshit constitution. He is in law. He makes the decisions about what is and isn't classified. In my opinion, he gets to determine how these documents are handled. And if he was president when he took it out of the White House, he approved as president lawfully doing that. I mean, like, give me a break. And that's what his lawyers are going to argue, and they're going to win, man. There better be more than this. This is stupid shit. This is stupid ass shit. Mr. Logic, that's the tier 3. This is some dumbass shit.
Whatever it is. The supper club. Whatever it is. His gold thing in South Florida.
Listen, I don't like him. I didn't want him to be president. But part of being president, living in the White House is being able to declassify shit and handle the shit the way you see fit. You're not going to convince me to be mad about this unless you can show me some harm. Does this extend to private citizens? Like, god damn. Oh, he did super secret. You and I are not even allowed to know. Then I'm not allowed to care.
The New York Times is reporting tonight that it is the classified documents investigation that led to today's FBI raid, that led to the execution of this search warrant at the former president's property. It was Jackie Alamany and her colleagues at the Post who first reported the existence of this problem. And it's
0% chance that sticks. This is an epic fucking blunder. There is a 0% chance this sticks. Of all the dumbass shit you could go after him for, this is the dumbest.
We've known this investigation.
Listen, I'm sorry for being a party pooper. I wish I should have come out here and done a if you went and watched Vouch's stream, I'm sure he's got Rip Bozo playing and he's dancing around and he's libbed up. I'm sure if you watched Austin's show or some other liberals, they're creaming their pants here. But the reality is that I'm going to tell you the truth. This is dog shit so far. Chelsea Manning said that everybody does this. LOL. Can you please give me the? Why is Austin getting heat? Because he's a liberal. If he had the power to declassify / control information while he was president, does he still maintain that after his presidency? Like he was holding on to documents that he was instructed to return to the National Archives. If he packed them in a box with intent to take them out of the White House, he was still president at that point. And so good for him. He gets to do that. It was always flabbergasting when they haven't used the emoluments clause. Seems to me like that stuff would be more legit, but there was probably a reason why they don't, because there's no crime of emolument going to prosecute it under the way the court is constituted. Best way to approach the emolument shit was to impeach him, which they did. Is there a way this could be seen at a positive / constructive light? Are there any plus sides to this, or are we really just witnessing a misguided show of force by the DOJ? I don't know enough yet, but I can say, from my opinion, based on what I've seen so far, this is a gigantic nothing burger, and there is no fucking shot that this is going to stick. Even if the people that think this is about classified documents are correct, what's the worst that could happen to Trump? Nothing happened to Clinton when she did similar shit. She was smart enough to destroy everything so no one could catch her in the act. Even if maintaining the documents is legally wrong, there is certainly no or a very thin moral argument here. You're basically accusing him of doing something illegally on Tuesday that he could do legally on Monday. Who cares? See, there's a lot of people that are bureaucrat-minded, sexy silver grandpa, and they rule at the idea of enforcing an arbitrary rule on someone because of something like that. Like going, well, if you had put in this document yesterday, you would get this health insurance covered. But because you failed to place the document within the appropriate amount of time, I get to deny you your cancer treatment. People love that shit.
Joining us now is Jackie Alamany, investigations reporter for the Washington Post. Ms. Alamany, thank you for being with us tonight. This feels like maybe not full circle, but quite a ways around the arc from your initial reporting.
Thanks so much for having me.
I know that you and your colleagues have been continuing to report this story. You were first to break the news of this scandal 6 months ago. What do you understand about the latest here, about the scope of the FBI's action and what it says about this investigation as a whole?
Yeah, Rachel, well, we're trying to get new details right now. And what we've heard so far is that, which the former president confirmed himself, is that the FBI did raid the premises today. This is an especially newsworthy development, though, because obviously 6 months ago, we reported that the National Archives had sent people down to Mar-a-Lago to recover about 15 boxes worth of documents, classified information, and various mementos, things, records that belong to the American people from former President Trump. The FBI revisiting him today indicates that there might have been documents that have yet to have been recovered. But we have no reporting yet on what exactly might have been taken, what FBI agents were looking for. But some new reporting that we do have is that the inventory that was turned over to the FBI of those 15 boxes was actually 100 pages long. And that was only of the unclassified information, unclassified items that were improperly taken. Although if you asked any archivist, they would say that that information is just as important to our historic record as some of the classified information that was taken. We have a source telling us that if you quantified the unclassified version of the classified inventory, which would be a separate inventory from the list of unclassified items, that it would be around 3 pages long. But the source added that volume is just one way to quantify the damage that might have been done, and that even just 1 page or one portion of a top secret or classified item that might have been improperly archived could do very grave damage to national security of the U.S.
Horseshit. Bullshit. When almost every single diplomatic cable was leaked by WikiLeaks, they couldn't point to a single fucking actual concrete harm that was done. This is such bullshit, man. As a leftist, you should be opposing this classification regime. This is the neoconization of the Democratic Party. It's pretending to care about this shit. This is so dumb. I can't believe this is what they're going for. Incredible. I think the type of person that's an FBI agent is a pencil-pushing Poindexter who cares about bureaucratic shit that has absolutely no justification in reality / is fucking pointless. I don't think they're Democrats. Isn't it true that the first use of executive privilege was to cover up a military accident and absolve the military of wrongdoing? That's a factoid I don't know. Keep the faith. I really feel like it's something more than classified documents.
And these are rough estimates around 100 pages worth of items. We actually have some descriptors of some of the unclassified items, things like birthday dinner menu was taken, schedules, calendars, speeches, agendas, talking points.
An old man had scrapbooks of when he was president. And they're like, no, you can't take your dinner menu for when you met the Japanese prime minister. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, right? They just described it. We know the love letters from Kim are in those boxes. Oh, he got a letter from the leader of North Korea. Oh, no. Send the FBI. 50 FBI agents, by the way, chat. Can you, give me a goddamn break, dude. When they were trying to get Hillary Clinton, one of the things they were trying to prosecute her for is they said that she had classified documents on her private server. That's what the Republicans are going for, right? And one of those classified documents was her schedule. They were trying to prosecute Hillary for having her own schedule on her own server. Anybody who's not a fucking dipshit recognizes that as bullshit. This sounds exactly like what they're doing to Trump, to be honest with you.
Classified items, things like birthday dinner menu was taken, schedules, calendars, speeches, agendas, talking points. We're still digging into this again every minute. I'm sitting here getting text messages and new intel just as we speak. But
I honestly wouldn't have even answered that question. I would have kept that info under my hat because Republicans are going to run wild with it. They're yelling at him for dinner menus. They're prosecuting him for dinner menus. Absolute idiotic quote. But I'm trying to imagine any document that he could have where I would be like, prosecute. I'm trying to imagine. Can you guys brainstorm what would be a document that you think it's appropriate to prosecute a former president over? Like, legitimately. Location of secret military bases. Even that, man. These are dark times for our nation as my beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. It is a prosecutorial misconduct, the weaponization of the justice system, and an attack by the radical left Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024, especially based on recent polls, and who will likewise do anything to stop Republicans and conservatives in the upcoming midterm elections. Such an assault could only take place in broken third world countries. Sadly, America has now become one of those countries, corrupt at a level not seen before. They even broke into my safe. What is the difference between this and Watergate, where operatives broke into the Democratic National Committee? Here in reverse, Democrats broke into the home of the 45th president of the United States. The political prosecution of President Donald J. Trump has been going on for years. Did he talk about himself in the third person? With the now fully debunked Russia scam, impeachment hoax 11, impeachment hoax number 2, and so much more. Did they mean impeachment hoax 1? It just never ends. It is political targeting at the highest level. Hillary Clinton was allowed to delete and acid wash 33,000 emails after they were subpoenaed by Congress. Absolutely nothing has happened to hold her accountable. She even took antique furniture and other items for the White House. I stood up to America's bureaucratic corruption. I restored power to the people and truly delivered for our country, like we have never seen before. The establishment hated it. Now, as they watch my endorsed candidates win big victories and see my dominance in all polls, they are trying to stop me and the Republican Party once more. The lawlessness, political persecution, and witch hunt must be exposed and stopped. I will continue to fight for the great American people. Fucking Christ. We're all gonna die. Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.